Nick Dixon here with PennGrade1 High Performance Oil, and I'd like to welcome our guest today, Brandon Overton, one of the top dirt late model drivers in the United States. And Brandon's here to discuss PennGrade1 High Performance Oil with us. So Brandon, I'd like to have you maybe do a quick introduction of yourself to our viewers, and we can start after that.
Brandon Overton, driver of the Wells Motorsports 76 Longhorn. We've been racing all year, had a pretty good year, won 25 features so far, and still got a couple more to go.
Well, that is great news. I know a lot of our employees and watchers have been following you this year. And just real quick now, we wanted to talk about PennGrade1. I know you folks use PennGrade1 in those Clements powered racing engines you're running this year. And we were just wondering, Brandon, have you noticed like a, let's say an increase maybe in your oil pressure or things like that since you switched over to PennGrade1?
Yeah, definitely we have. Our big thing with the dirt late model is when you first fire them up, we want a certain amount of oil pressure. What I've noticed lately is, in the past and other cars I've driven and other types of oil brands, they all have the pressure as soon as you fire them up, but the hotter everything gets, they kind of want the oil light will come on, the oil pressure will get real low. And I haven't noticed that a lot, especially since we've been running the PennGrade stuff. Hell, I don't even think I've seen the oil light on until I turned it off. So, that's definitely one thing I have seen.
Well, we hear that from a lot of the builders and racers out there. Now, to go along with that too, have you noticed like a decrease, let's say, in your engine operating temperature or your oil temperature since you switched to PennGrade1?
Yeah, definitely. We've gone as far as, running 2-blade fans. A lot of the guys in the pits we see have to work really hard to keep their motor to run cool, and we're actually trying to get ours heated up a little more. We got to be the first ones to fire up before we hot lap to make sure our engine gets warm enough to go out there and turn all the RPMs. So like I said, it's definitely a bonus, those 100 lap races when things do tend to run a little warmer. That's never even a question for me if I'm going to run hot or not.
Yeah, that's a good point, because as come July, August, September, you can get some pretty hot evenings out there running. That's one of the good features of PennGrade1. It does help overall reduce that operating temperature of these engines, which increases horsepower. And that's the name of the game today. I think a lot of it has to do with horsepower.
Yeah, definitely. Probably the worst thing that you could, it's hard enough to win a race, anywhere you go. So you definitely don't want to fall out due to running hot or being scared you're going to run hot.
Correct. Yeah. Now, another thing we wanted to know too, a lot of the guys in the racing segment take their engines back in or refreshing them up occasionally during the year. Now, with you and your engine builder, have you noticed anything on your engine refreshings that you've been doing?
I have. I've sent 2 engines back to Clements so far this year, and both of them we ran the PennGrade stuff in, and as soon as he tore them down, he called me back to make sure. He said, "Man, you sure this thing's ready to be freshened?" I said, "Yeah, it's got 1,400 laps on it at least." And he said, "Well, I'll tell you what, I don't know what you're doing for your air filter oil wise, but he said, man, when I tore this thing down, it still looks brand new. Whatever you're doing, just keep on doing it."
Wow, that's a lot of laps, 1,400 laps.
Yeah, it is, especially, some of the tracks we go to, is really, really big and really hard on them. And so for him to say that made me feel good. We're taking care of David and Eric's stuff, and shout out to everything we use inside of them is make them hold up.
Well, that's great. And speaking of that, when you're changing oil, what do you guys do for your oil drain intervals when you're racing?
Well, we used to try to go every 250 laps and change the oil. And it's the beginning of the year, we was running 250, and my guys, when they changed them, they was like, "Man, come look at this oil." They said it looks brand new. It's just as green as it was when we poured it in there. So we've actually been stretching it a little bit. We'll, instead of 200, we'll make it 400, 450. the stuff still at 450 laps is still just as green as it was the day you poured it in there. So that's pretty cool. We kind of joke around when we're changing out the track. We'll show people, we'll be like, hey, check this oil out. Look how green it is. Sometimes they're like, is that antifreeze? So, and yeah, it's so green. It's definitely, a good product.
Well, again, Brandon, we surely appreciate your support, and everybody's just so grateful to see 25 wins this season. I know you got a few more to go, so all of us here at PennGrade1 are hoping you can bring them checkers back again. And again, we thank you so much for your support, and we look forward to a great season even next year. So again, thank you so much.
Yes, sir. Thank you for having me. Like I said, can't say enough about PennGrade and all y'all do for us. It's an awesome product, and if ain't nobody running it, shame on you.
All right. Well, thank you. And thank you for all our viewers tuning in. And we hope to see you at the next race. Thank you.